Hello everyone, this is your English tutor, Miss Tony Kiho. Today we'll be learning about the second chapter titled No Men Are Foreign. It's a poem written by James Falconer Kirkup. But before we get into the detailed study of the poem, let's get to know more about our poet. Now, James Falconer Kirkup was born on 23rd May 1918. He was an English poet, writer, translator, and also a teacher. Now, he wrote under many pen names like James Falconer, Aditya Jha, June Honda, Andrew James, etc. He wrote over 30 autobiographies, including the novels and the dramas. He also won awards like Japanese PAN Club for Poetry in 1965 and also a book of Tanka in 1990, etc. Now, he died on 10th May 2009 in Andorra, a small country between the country of Spain and France. Now, let's get back to the poem. But I'll give you a brief introduction of the poem first before we get into the detailed study line-wise. The title of the poem suggests that no man belongs to any other country, meaning that all men are equal and same. The poet wants us to convey through this poem the concept of the universal brotherhood. Men all over the world are equal, but men have met differences on the basis of caste, creed, religion, color, barriers, and boundaries. And so the poet wants us to convey through this poem that the people, those who have hatred or spread wars, are all criminals and that they deserve to be condemned. The poem also deals with the supremacy of love, friendship, and unity among all the people all over the world, meaning that no person is an outsider or a foreigner. Now, coming back into the poem is written in free verse. It has no rhyme scheme. The poem, as you can see from your textbook, from page 13 till 14, the poem consists of 20 lines and it is not divided into stanzas, but it is divided into specific segments, which is good for us. That's a brief introduction of the poem No Men Are Foreign. Now let's go into detail. You open your textbook to page 13 and look at it. I'll read it for you. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. The first four lines, the poet wants us to constantly remind ourselves that no man is a stranger or a foreigner in this world, that everybody is equal and same. And also, he brings home the point about the futility of war. Those people who indulge in war need to remember that beneath all the uniforms, all the different uniforms that the soldiers wear during the fight, beneath all that, a single body breathes, meaning that everybody is same or equal. And also, he conveys that the dispute between the countries or between the nations usually arises from the land, that piece of land belongs to which nation or which country. So he wants to convey that the earth, the land which we fight among ourselves, one day everyone will lie at one time or the other. Everybody will lie on that land that is in dead. That is why he wants to convey that people fighting over the land or having the disputes because of the lands, it is futile as well. The first four lines is all about like I've said, the poet again points to the theme of the universal brotherhood, that fighting against each other or hating each other is all vain, since everybody will have to lie in the earth, that is dead at one point of the time. Now the next 4 lines. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvest, by war's long winter starved. The hands are ours, and in the lines we read, a labor not different from our own. Now in these 4 lines, the poet is again trying to depict that they here refers to the people belonging to different countries. Now we discriminate the people from belonging to different countries, we hate them, we fight against them, calling them foreigners. But when it comes to the bounties of nature, nature has provided everyone equally. Like the sunshine that we're enjoying, the water that we use, and the air that we breathe, every people all over the world are doing the same. Nature has provided everyone equally. That is why, again, pointing out to the theme of the universal brotherhood, that everyone is same and equal. And also, now people, everyone all over the world, they do farming during the time of during the time of peace, and also the people, they starve together when there is war going on or when there is winter. So here the poet again depicts that every humans are same, that it's not like we are different from them or they are different from us, they are not a foreigner, we are not foreigner, it's not like that at the end. He just points again that everyone is same and equal. And he also says that they have a hand like we do, meaning that the work, whatever they are doing in order to survive, we are doing the same. So there is actually no differences in all the human beings living on this earth. Thus, in this, 4 lines, the poet depicts that the differences in the people are just superficial, are just not real, and that, we should not discriminate against each other, since we are all equal and same. Now, let's come to the next 4 lines. Remember, they have eyes that like ours wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land in its common life that all can recognize and understand. And these 4 lines, the poet also brings to our knowledge that we all have the same appearance, the people belonging to different countries. We all have the same appearance. God has given each one of us equally, like the eyes that opens when awake and that closes when asleep, has provided each one of us equally. We have eyes, the other people belonging to different countries or different nations, they have eyes like we do. So he says that there is really no differences between the people belonging to different countries. And also, he says that God has also provided everyone with strength as well, which can be won by love. And also there is one common thing in every land, that is life. And if we all recognize and understand, realizing the importance of life, then there won't be any need to fight or hate each other. Instead, or rather, this world would be peaceful. Now, that is the explanation of the last 4 lines again. Now let us discuss the last lines, all the lines together. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other, it is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fires and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. Now, in these last lines, the poet is telling us that whenever anyone tells us to hate our brothers, we have to remember that, it is ourselves that we deprive. It is ourselves that we condemned condemn, or it is ourselves that we betray. It's not like we are condemning others. It is like we're condemning ourselves. That is why we should always remember that it is not right to do so. And also, during the war, what happens is that, of course, when one countries or one nations fight against other, both the parties must bear the loss. It's not that only one party bears the loss. So the poet is trying to bring to our knowledge again that the war causes destruction to everybody living on this earth. And also that we have to know we should not take up any weapons against anyone, because if we do that, it is a Mother Earth that we defile and we pollute. It just causes destruction to the Mother Earth in which we are living. And that, when the people fight against each other, there is fire, there is smoke, there is, destruction everywhere, and all those are spoiling the purity of the air in which we live in. That is why we have to know that fighting is never good for mankind. So in these lines, the poet also conveys that, fighting against each other is never good for mankind, and that we should try to be peaceful, try to live peacefully with each other. In fact, actually, we can call this poem a peace poem as well. And so the poet finally ended the poem by repeating the first lines again. Remember, no men are foreign and no country is strange. He used the literary devices here, repetition, in this last line, because he really wanted the people to understand. He wanted to convey a message to the people or to the readers that fighting is never good, or waging war against another country or each other is never good. So as humans, since we all live on the same earth as humans, having the same having the same thing like how we live, how we eat, or how we treat each other, it all depends on us. So that is why the poet wants to convey to us through this poem that we should not fight and instead live peacefully with each other. There are some literary devices used in the poem, like metaphor, alliteration, and also repetition as well. And the poem ends, like I said, with a repetition using the literary devices, using a literary device by the writer, by the poet, saying that we should not fight each other. Thus, the novel ends this way. This is the end of today's lesson. I'll see you in the next class.